Hello everyone and welcome back. We are in the kitchen today starting out this video with some Swiss steak. I have actually made this again since I filmed this. It was so delicious. We have enjoyed so much the cube steak that came from the cow that we just had processed. We've not had cube steak with any other beef that we've had processed. And let me tell you, this is just so tender and delicious. We've just been loving it. So let's get into this one here. Hope you all are doing well and glad you came back for another look at some of the things we've been having around here. So the onions are frying up with butter in the pan. And I am just taking this cube steak and cutting it into bite-sized pieces. Now, a video or so back, I made cube steak bites like this. This time around, we wanted them again, but I also knew that Swiss steak is one of our favorites, and I haven't made Swiss steak in a good long time. I typically use my husband's grandmother's recipe. It makes a great Swiss steak, especially cooking it in the crock pot, just so good. My mom usually always made ours in the skillet and just slow cooked it in the skillet. Any which way you do it, it's really good. This is super quick though with this cube steak. And like I said, this is just so tender. We've really been impressed with the cube steak with this beef. All right, now after we've gotten this all cut up, I'm just using salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And then I'm going here right on this same little cutting board or cutting mat here, adding in my flour and just giving this a toss around, and then I'm just going to get this in the skillet to fry up with those onions. Look at these. Don't they look great? They would be fine at this point right here, and that's what I served the last time, the Swiss steak bites, pretty similar to this. But to make it Swiss steak, you need some tomatoes. So my husband James is a big fan of stewed tomatoes. He loves the chunky stewed tomatoes, the flavoring that comes along with that. So that's what I always use for Swiss steak. Well, if I have it, which is most always. So I wasn't sure if I was going to use the whole can or half. I ended up using the whole can. So you'll see me here pour the rest of that in here in a minute, and it was perfect. Now, you don't want to overcook the steak. As I mentioned, you want to keep it good and tender. So this is at the end here. Maybe 5 minutes to 6 minutes, I simmered this together. It doesn't take long. These tomatoes are delicious just as they are, but you just want to heat everything through here at the end, and that kind of, the tomatoes has that delicious sauce. It kind of, covers over everything, getting that good rich tomato flavor on all of it. So if you haven't made Swiss steak before, make some Swiss steak. If you want to make it a quick and maybe a easier version, quicker to get to the table, this one right here is perfect, using the cube steak, cutting it up into those bites. It just goes real quick and is so delicious and tender. And here is how I served it. I just felt like this needed peas and mashed potatoes. That just seemed like the quintessential thing to add to this meal. And anytime I have mashed potatoes, I like cottage cheese along with it on the side. So that's just my plate here. Again, so good, you guys. Make this one. I think you will enjoy it. I think it's quite fitting to be starting with onions again. Onions are really one of my favorite foods in this entire world, you guys. I love onions. So for this night, this was such a special day, I have to tell you guys. Let's not get ahead of myself here. Let's talk about what I'm making real quick. Started off with onions, 3 eggs, and I'm going in with a sleeve of Ritz crackers. I ended up adding another sleeve. What I am doing is making a quadruple batch of salmon patties. Now I'm adding in some mayonnaise right here too, and I don't always add mayonnaise in when I'm making salmon patties. I don't really follow a recipe. I just make these according to how I'm feeling in the moment. Also with this Old Bay, I don't know that I've ever added Old Bay into my salmon patties, but I wanted to add that in today, and it was really good. I couldn't taste like, oh my goodness, there's Old Bay, but I could definitely taste just a delicious flavor throughout. I also am adding garlic powder, salt and pepper. Can't make too many things in my household without those ingredients. So here it is. I used 4 cans of salmon, took all the bones out, I took all the skin off, added in 3 eggs, the seasonings that I showed you, 2 full sleeves of Ritz crackers, and the onion, and a couple dollops of mayonnaise. I have made salmon patties on my channel a lot of times where I show taking out the bones and the whole process, but I quadrupled this time because I am taking dinner tonight to our son Gunner and Abigail's house. We'll be eating dinner down there with them, plus her brother and sister were there, so I knew I wanted to have plenty for today and for leftovers. But you guys, let me tell you why. Our 7th grandson was born on this day, and so I was taking dinner down because, oh my goodness, my sweet grandson was born. Abigail had a home birth. She did outstanding. We are just thanking God for his help throughout the whole process. And I'm just so excited to get dinner down there and see our 7th grandson. So I'll tell you more about that in just a second, but I am making fried potatoes and onions to go along with it. I just thought I'd just make a good country cooking meal to take down. So fried potatoes and onions, salt and pepper, and maybe a little bit of garlic. I can't remember if I put that in there or not. I like to get a little crisp on these, and then I add a little bit of water towards the end of the cook time to steam them after they've gotten a little bit of golden color on there. But yeah, we're so excited. 7th grandson. We have 3 sons. Gunnar and Abigail now have 3 sons. All of our sons have sons. 2 of them have 2, and now 1 has 3. I don't know what we did to deserve 7 little boys. It's just wonderful. I just have to say it's wonderful. So that's why I am cooking up this big dinner today. All right, we have some ham chunks. Every time I bake a ham, I usually have leftovers, and I put those in the freezer. And these are my favorite beans to use, so I thought ham and beans and cornbread would be great along with this meal. And then I also did a big 9x13 of macaroni and cheese from scratch and made a yummy dessert. And so that is such a blessing to take in food to someone who has a baby. That when I had my children, that's what people did for me. Is just so sweet and helpful. And so I was so glad to be able to cook this and take it down to our kids. All right, I'm going to show you some pictures. Look at this. Is this not precious? Oh my goodness. Abigail is a rock star when it comes to having these babies. Like I said, she had a home birth and did great. We are so thankful and totally in love with this sweet little boy. I like to show you what I am taking to our church fellowship meal if it's where I can. So on this day, I am making some skewers, and James is going to do those on the grill, and then I just reheated them at church in the oven. So I am using sausages. I'm using a kielbasa and a beef smoked sausage, getting that all cubed up. And for my skewers, I am making the sausage, mushrooms, pineapple, and red onion. I just thought that sounded like a fun combo. And the meal theme for this fellowship meal was skewers and sundaes. So we had delicious ice cream sundaes at the end. It was all so good, but I love this combo so much. I definitely want to make this again. I did not put any barbecue sauce on this. I thought I would take it along with me at church, and anyone could put barbecue sauce on it if they wanted to. And then I forgot to bring the barbecue sauce. So, but these were perfect as they were. But I'd say if I make these at home the next time, I think a little barbecue sauce brushed on at the end would be so good. And we love kebabs, skewers, whatever. I just don't often think to make them. I usually make them about once a summer, but my goodness, I could make them a whole lot more. What I ended up doing, because I used my metal skewers after I heated these through, I was like, you know what, I don't want anyone's fingers to burn, so I ended up just taking them all off that skewer and serving them that way. All that to say, you could definitely make this as a sheet pan meal without the skewers. It would be so good. This seasoning that I used here was so good on it. Had a great little citrusy taste, but you could just go in with whatever seasonings you have. And like I said, this could be easily a sheet pan meal. These were really, really good.
Fresh cut grass. I could really use some stuff like.
All right, and in the spirit of the simple summer suppers that I talk about throughout these summer days, this one falls in that category. James had mentioned wanting some cilantro lime rice, and he wanted to grill up some steaks. This was on a Saturday, so I was like, yes, this is perfect. And I had just made this rice not long ago, and that's what he said, make some more of that delicious cilantro lime rice. So easy with the rice cooker. I love using the jasmine rice. I buy the big bags at Aldi, and just cook it up in the rice cooker, put in some fresh lime juice and some cilantro, and then you can add any other seasonings that you want, garlic, salt, pepper, whatever. I use this Green Goddess this time. Really, really good. And then James just had this along with his steak. And then for mine, I decided that I wanted a salad this day, and I just served my steak kind of sliced on top of the salad. A really good, easy, simple summer supper that didn't take really long. It was just a nice, refreshing meal. Last up, I bought this package, the Heritage blend of chuck, brisket, and sirloin. Now, you know we have our own beef, but I was at the grocery store and I knew I needed something quick for dinner, and I didn't have anything thought out. So I saw those, they looked great, something new to try, so I picked those up. Just seasoning them up here with this garlic butter seasoning that I got at Aldi. We've really been enjoying that. And some pepper, and fried those up in the skillet for one of our very favorites. This was a Friday night meal, quick, easy. I had done some shopping that day, and so I needed something quick and easy that day. James wanted this, the Colby with the peppers in it. I love that. It's a Sargento brand, so it's like a pepper Colby Jack type thing. And I just wanted plain old cheese single on mine. So yeah, we just love a pan-fried cheeseburger. It's our all-time favorite. And of course, that's, you know how quick and easy that is, but it's always delicious. And then when you have a nice yellow tomato from the Amish store, yes, that made it even better. All right, you guys, I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you so much every time you come by and spend a little time with me in the kitchen. If you haven't yet subscribed, I am so close to 12,000 subscribers. I just need like 125 more people and we'll be at 12,000. If you haven't subscribed, I would love to have you. And someone mentioned recently that they had been unsubscribed from my channel and some others. So check your subscriptions. Make sure you are subscribed. Sometimes YouTube does that. Don't know why, but it does happen. All right, you guys, thank you again. And I will see you next week. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.